Good morning, America. Don't you feel refreshed? Welcome to Green Card Guys TV. Now, I'm your host, John Ting. We have several items we want to share with you about what President-elect Joe Biden will do in terms of immigration. Number one, he plans to send a bill to Congress on his first day, he says, according to his website, that he's going to help change or provide immigration reform. This includes people who have DACA right now, and also the expanded version of DACA to include the parents of US citizen children. This is what President Obama was trying to do, a different version of DACA called DAPA. So now he's also going to include people who have temporary protected status, which makes sense because you wouldn't want the next president, if it's he or she is a Republican, to try to do what Trump just did the past 4 years. And there's been so much litigation and back and forth for many, many different immigration status holders, but of course it includes temporary protected status. So let's go ahead and make this permanent. These are both programs that President Trump has tried to essentially phase out. And even though the Supreme Court said that the Trump administration violated the way it tried to rescind the program, it essentially still gave him a way to try to rescind the program again. So that's why it's a great idea for President-elect Biden to include people who have DACA, TPS into this new immigration reform bill. Now, of course, there's not much detail to it, but I imagine the requirements will be very similar to what it is now. But in fact, we would argue as immigration attorneys that the DACA requirements need to be expanded because it did have a cutoff of age 31 at the time of when the DACA program was implemented on June 15th, 2012. The second thing that President-elect Biden wants to do is end all the restrictions that President Trump implemented related to the pandemic. Around April of this year, President Trump had signed a proclamation that basically stopped all interviews, all issuance of visas to those who were to include H-1B, immigrant visas through family, for example, or even employment-based. So it was really expansive, and it's still taking place all the way until December 31st this year. So that is one of the critical items that President-elect Biden is going to remove. That needs to be done as soon as possible. And number three, President-elect Biden is going to increase the number of visas for high-skilled workers and also for the refugee admissions. Number four, the very first thing that President Trump did was, in terms of immigration, was implement a travel ban on Muslim and African countries. So that is what President-elect Biden is going to get rid of because everyone knows it's a discriminatory policy and had no basis, even though Supreme Court ended up holding that up. Number five, President-elect Biden is going to end President Trump's restrictive asylum policies, which includes the program known as Remain in Mexico. It was formerly known as Migrant Protection Protocols, MPP, which forced people who are seeking asylum to be in Mexico and wait in Mexico for the court hearing, which is logistically a nightmare, first of all, because once they know the final trial, they have to trek themselves all the way back to the border. Now, number six, President-elect Biden is going to create a task force to help facilitate the reunification of the 545 children with their parents. And we're also assuming it's 545 children. That's just what the government, Customs, Border Protection, and ICE have told the public. We're going to have to hold their feet to the fire because it's the government we're talking about. Just because we have a Democratic president does not mean that everything's going to be smooth sailing, right? Number seven, he's going to end the diversion of funds from the Pentagon to the building of the wall. Instead, invest in screening and infrastructure at the port of entries, not along the border. Now, again, we need to keep any president accountable. This is not just, oh, we only do that for President Trump. We did the same thing. When I say we said immigration attorneys. We did the same thing when it was President Bush, President Obama, and will continue to do that when President-elect Biden enters office on January 20th. So these are top 7 items that President-elect Biden has on his website that he's going to do for immigration. We're also going to share other items that President-elect Biden needs to include on his list that can be done through executive order. I know most people don't like items to be taken care of via executive order, but as long as within the realm of the powers of the executive branch, then I believe it is appropriate to do so. And we'll share that in the next video later this week. If you enjoyed the content from our show, please hit the like button down below. If you're new to our channel, welcome. Please hit subscribe so you get all the future notifications of our videos and tips in our news. We look forward to sharing more information with you this upcoming week because we know there's going to be more news to share with you very soon. And please leave a comment. We'd like to know what you think about the top 7 items. There's probably something that you're looking forward to that's not in the top 7. So let us know what you're thinking and what's your special request. We'll try to send that list to President Biden. Thank you very much. And until next time, please continue wearing your mask.